everyone is obsessed with Fortnite at the moment, but are all failing to realise that there is a much better third-person shooter out there, known as Loadout. And on top of it being an underrated great game, it's also free. Oh wait, so is Fortnite. Okay, never mind. Loadout is a game that focuses on being an arcadey and goofy multiplayer shooter, developed by Edge of Reality, who have made classic hits such as the Shark Tale and Over the Hedge games. Alright, so they haven't exactly created masterpieces before. But back to Loadout. As the name suggests, a huge proportion of the game is revolved around creating various different weapons to suit your playstyle and the type of class that you want to be. And there are so many options to choose from which really do affect your playstyle within the matches. So it's already about experimenting with different components of the gun and just seeing what works best for you. The reason why this is such a huge positive to the game is because in a lot of other shooters you just kind of slap on various different attachments to the weapon, but it actually has no greater impact on how it affects the gun in gameplay, at least not in comparison to Loadout. So there are 5 different game modes. Death Snatch, where you kill enemies and confirm the kill by taking what's known as plutonium from them. It's kind of like Kill Confirmed in Call of Duty if you played that. Jackhammer, which is capture the flag but with this amazing hammer. Blitz, which is kind of a similar concept to Hardpoint, so capturing a certain point and then defending it from the opposing team. Extraction, which is picking up a load of crystals and then chucking them in a box. I have no other way of explaining that. And finally, Domination, which is like domination. I think my favourite of the bunch is probably Jackhammer. I think the reason for this is because it takes a very simple concept but actually mixes it up by having the flag as an overpowered weapon. It's just something a bit different and it definitely makes the gameplay a lot more interesting in those particular matches. Now Loadout is the very first PC game that I ever properly got into, and I feel like the reason for me liking it so much is because it contained everything that appealed to 12-year-old me at the time. A fantastic art style, really fast-paced arena gameplay, the fact that it's not at all serious and fully embraces it, and that not much skill is required to play the game. Which when revisiting now I feel like that's the game's biggest flaw. Despite it being extremely fun, the game being third person really does limit it in terms of how fair the battles are within PvP. The weapons, even the sniper, don't really require too much accuracy, and it's more just a case of spraying into your enemies and just hoping that you're the one that comes out victorious. Although to be fair, there are certain tactics that you could use so that you're the one that comes out on top, like dodging and rolling to avoid enemy fire, and also put out any flames on you if the enemy happen to be attacking with a flamethrower of some sort. There are also healing weapons to be used, so there are certain ways of avoiding these situations, but it's definitely something you'll notice throughout your course of play. I felt the only other negative aside from that are the cosmetics, because they are ridiculously overpriced. Now, as you all know, I'm not at all a fan of microtransactions. However, it is a free-to-play game, so I will allow some passes. But charging roughly around £9 for my character to do a 3-second dance to Gangnam Style does seem fairly overpriced to me. Obviously, paid bonus content is pretty much essential in a free-to-play game, at least most of the time, and I'm guessing the only reason why they chose the cosmetics rather than additional maps is because sadly the Loadout player base continues to decrease. You often struggle trying to get into a lobby with regular modes and maps, let alone if they had bonus maps as DLC content, so we need to get that player base stronger. So if you haven't tried Loadout before, then go hop on the PlayStation or Steam market, download it and give it a go for yourself, because it is all around a total blast to play, and I'm sure a lot of you will get invested in the game, especially if you love games like Team Fortress 2, Paladins or Garfield Kart.